Good afternoon, everybody. Going to go over our Forex trades for today, Tuesday, May 17th. Just one scalp trade in US dollar Japanese yen, which we correlated with the Swiss franc to yen. Finished down 3 pips, 3.0 pips. So we'll go over that in a second. First, the economic news. Inflation numbers came out. CPI came out higher than expected, which is, you would think the Fed would be happy with that. Unfortunately, the one thing there is that the gasoline prices rose over 8% for the month. So how much did that impact CPI? Well, we know it impacted it quite a lot. The Fed has a target of inflation of 2% or more. I don't know. We'll have to see what oil and gasoline does over the coming months, and then what the rest of the CPI number does with that. So obviously, if gasoline and oil continues to trend higher, it may help that inflation number increase and rise towards the Fed target. But conversely, if it reverses course, obviously not what the Fed wants. Housing numbers this morning were sort of conflicting. They came out with housing starts, which beat, but yet housing permits missed. So it was a little confusing there if it was good or bad. It was sort of conflicting. Atlanta Fed GDP now number came out. That's the computer model by the Atlanta Fed. They lowered forecast for second quarter GDP down to 2.5%. So I believe that comes out every couple of weeks. So we'll see what that does. It's a good computer model, but it does fluctuate sometimes quite a bit during the 2-week period because it takes in the most recent economic data. And then Bank of America said the longest uninterrupted streak of smart money selling has extended to 16 consecutive weeks. So that's not not that it's not surprising, but you knew last week was a record of 15 straight weeks. So now we're at 16 straight weeks. It's just something good to watch by Bank of America. So let's get to the trade. It was a scalp in US dollar Japanese yen. Like I said, we were correlated with the Swiss franc to Japanese yen. Half our US dollar Japanese yen size was the size of the Swiss franc to Japanese yen. Nothing was going on last night. We were short this from 108.90. You can see we covered 108.936. We were in it for, this is supposed to be a scalp. Usually we're in them for a half an hour, sometimes minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes an hour. We were in this thing for 3 or 4 hours, was getting close to midnight. So we just took the loss and moved on. We lost 3.6 pips there. On the Swiss franc, we were long from 111.393. We sold 111.405, picking up 1.2 pips, or size adjusted 0.6. So net out 3.0 pip loss. Our stop was 109.20. If we had held it overnight, we would have got stopped out. But you can't be correlated if you're not watching it, especially on a scalp. If you're correlated on a swing, different ball game because you're going to give them much bigger, wider ranges as far as losses. But when it's a scalp, you have to be able to see it, to be in front of the computer. So because you don't want to get stopped out of one, have the other one running, and then this happens and you come in the office and it's let's say you get stopped out of US dollar Japanese yen and you're in the Swiss franc, which moved up nicely, but then you come in the office in the morning and the Swiss franc Japanese yen has already reversed. So you could really get hurt bad that way. So we decided to take the loss and move on. So not a big deal. Lost 3.0 pips. Not a big deal at all. So that's it. If you're still trading now, good luck. If any signals come out, they'll be coming your way. And we'll be back tomorrow, assuming we get some action tonight or tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your day.